first and last mistake. I'm blue without your face. But what can I do? 'Cause I'm just a sinking ship, and you're just a pair of lips that I've lost in the moment. All I want is for you to come back. Now I'm caught in the middle of life, and I need you to survive.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Red Pill Diaries. I'm your host, your brother, and your friend Rashid, and I'd like to thank you all for joining me on the most powerful platform for truth, bar none, on God's green earth. This is your platform for education, elevation, and edification, and this is the Red Pill Diaries. And some of you may ask, why am I laughing? Because right before the show, I was looking in the chat, and I saw I saw at Dave double underscore H, and he says, was wondering why Trump. A matter of fact, let me put it on the screen for you guys. Let me just put it on the screen for you guys. Uh, was wondering why Trump was struggling climbing the steps to the plane. They weren't allowed anything to take anything Chinese away and must have had an animal. Ah, oh my God. You guys are something else. As we wait for Carl to join us, if Carl is not on the platform in the next 10 or 15 minutes, I'll hit him up, okay? Live on the air. You know how Carl and I do it. We have a lot of things going on. That's my guy there. And if he just so happens to miss the show, you know how we do it. We'll reboot it and do a redo or redo or whatever you want to call it, and then he'll be on the platform. But I'm thinking that he's just a little bit late due to the time difference. Also, I want to thank every one of you listening from the depth of my heart to the depth of my spirit. I want to thank you all for giving me your time to talk to you, especially on the situation of the world and what we're watching unfolding. Never in a million years did you think that you would be living in the day of the downfall of the American empire. Never did you think that small and medium-sized nations would be able to challenge the American power. You never thought that you would see a day where people would question the validity of the US dollar. You never thought that you would see a day where the economic situation abroad would have flipped overnight, where the power has shifted eastward and the West is now looking more and more like what they describe as third and fourth world nations now. All across America, go to any intersection, you'll see people with signs, will work for food, donations. Before I go further, happy, that was my daughter, give hand a drink. And I call it a delusion that America was that city that sitteth upon the hill. Thank you. America was that. That was my daughter. Give hand a drink. Before I go further, happy early birthday to my oldest daughter, Kalima, aka Red, or like my mother would call her green dust. Mom, I know that your energy is watching over her, and she continues to keep you in her heart. So now we're looking at a time unlike any time before, especially as America made the trip to China. I want you to understand something. In the midst of an economic collapse globally, in the midst of America losing militarily, easy this is. $1 billion to completely eradicate homelessness and hunger and poverty across the U.S., okay? Now, let's look at what it says here in the overview, all right? The United States is on track to pay approximately $1 trillion to $1.2 trillion in interest on its national debt in 2026 fiscal year. This breaks down to roughly $88 billion every single month, or $3 billion a day. So in the span of 1 week, what America is now being forced to pay on interest, America is homelessness. Think about the what this means, not just for the domestic situation in America, where it could have alleviated poverty, homelessness, and hunger completely in a span of 2 weeks of what she's paying on the national debt. Now look at it from the perspective of, and facts win out every time. All right? Facts over feelings. So it says number 3, the legal definition. And now I want you to understand this before I go further. Remember, I have a show playing with Carl. Something may be going up with his internet or something's going on, but we'll have him on if he doesn't make it. We're going to have him on and you'll see Rideau, you know, the French way to spell it. That'll let you know he'll be back on if he's not on today. But I want you to understand something. So we're doing this off the cuff, right? And you're telling me that the people who do shows can't do that, and they have teams, and you can't do this. You can't think on the fly. You can't converse with a person in a sane fashion. Anything. We're not producing anything but trouble, chaos, and disorder, right? And we're leaving a trail of death and destruction everywhere through experimentation. And the stockholders are screaming, hey, we need profit. And yet, every turn, I'm borrowing from Peter to pay Paul. And it says following Fernandez de Kirchner's thyroid cancer diagnosis in late 2011, Chavez publicly stated in a televised speech that the United States might have developed a covert technology to intentionally infect left-wing Latin American leaders with the disease. He questioned aloud if such a weapon could be possible as a string of regional leaders, including himself, Brazil, put it in the search engine, and there you have it. All right? So I'm not no conspiracy theorist. I'm telling you what's factual. But we don't get that. So again, let's see. Let's go to the chat real quick. We're far past the twilight of American power. You absolutely right. Dave says the people in Europe actually believe that Ukraine is winning, even if factories work 24/7. They won't have enough for war in 2030. Russia needs to put more pressure on now. Stop craziness. Listen. I'm going to say a couple things that's going to piss a couple people off. But as my mother used to always say, it's better to be pissed off than get pissed on. The U.S. Even right now, they're talking about Europe. What the hell can Europe bring to the table? Russia will crush Europe. They've already did a synopsis, analytic study of 5. I'm going to get, you can pay for it in oil later on. Get them enough penicillin to kill the poison before the poison of the kills the whore and them too. That's what's going on. I hope you understand that part right there. Ben Hoodwink says romance of the 3 kingdoms. Shout out. Financial system and all of the levers that they use to control the world. You've got to disconnect from all of that, or else the tentacles will come on you and the octopus will wrap around you and suck the life out of you. Yes, defiance. Calamari time. That's clever there. That's real clever. I like that. That's real clever. Just catching up with the beginning. Absolutely. So again, I'm not giving you guys long, but I do want you guys to join me. We'll be. I don't know if I'm gonna do a live stream for the channel members and the Patreon. I got this stuff I want to do again for you guys. I don't know if it's gonna be a live stream or if it's gonna be pre-recorded thing. But also, we got some more guests coming up on the show, and I just want to thank each and every one of you. I want to take the time out right now. If you have not subscribed, please think about subscribing. If you think you've subscribed, please go check your subscriptions, because we keep getting people unsubscribed by these platforms. All right. And who was it? I believe it was Flying Crocodile was saying that they didn't even get a notification for the show the other day. So hit the bell icon, spread the word, and tell others about the platform. One thing that you're going to get is truth, and that's why I say these things with sincerity from my heart. I hope that you have gotten an equal pay or greater pay for you spending your time with me, because time is invaluable and it is an unrenewable resource. Because once it's used up, you can never get it back again. That's why it's called spending time. So I hope the time that you spent with me today, you've got an equal or greater return from spending that valuable commodity with your brother and your friend. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me on the most powerful platform for truth, bar none, on God's green earth. This is your platform for education, elevation, and edification. This is the Red Pill Diaries. I'm your host, your brother, and your friend, Rashid. And I'd like to say to all of you, do right by others, not because there's some material gain to be had or some accolades to gain. Do right by others because it's the right, the humane, and the godly thing to do. Because even when no one else is watching you, remember that God Almighty is watching you. As my late, great, and beautiful mother would always say, God sits high on the throne of power, but he looks low at the actions of man. Know that I love each and every one of you who loves truth, freedom, justice, and equality. But know that the love that I have for you will always pale in comparison to the love that the God of freedom, justice, and equality has for you. Until we next speak again, stay strong, stay true. But above all things, remember to stay righteous, because righteousness is the only thing that's going to get us out of here. Hey, mama, your baby boy still loves you more than life. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Peace.
Told you to walk away. That was my first and last mistake. I'm blue without your face. But what can I do? 'Cause I'm just a sinking ship, and you're just